There's a concept in shamanic energy medicine called our wounds become our gifts. And I wanted to clarify a little bit of that and talk about what happens when we heal, what happens when we free ourselves from past wounds, heavy energies, cords, other influences, and where does that go? Um, and I wanted to make it really clear because this is part of a series of articles that you usually come to me as I'm doing sessions and I get some insights and then realize this is something worth sharing. And I wanted to make it clear that you don't really um, lose anything when you're clearing it. Energy is conserved essentially, and it gets transformed. So think of it like a lava tube where as molten lava is flowing through a cavity. um, it cools on the outsides, but as new lava is flowing through, it kind of melts away some of the existing tube and continues. And so when we clear energies, really what we're doing is we're transforming it into usable energy. We're transforming it into something that like can be digested. So when things die in the jungle or when we get rid of our waste, um, it gets transformed. It gets oxidized or miqui in Quechua, which is to combust, and becomes ash, which then gets transformed into fertilizer. So when you're in a healing process or really making any changes in life, instead of thinking in terms of I'm going to let something go, I'm losing something. Even when somebody dies or something dies, you're really not losing anything. You're transforming the literal thing, but you're also just creating a new experience. You're transforming your experience. So, as we know, life is just a series of experiences, and they're either ones that you want or ones that you don't or prefer not to experience. And, how those come to us is infinite in form and the ways that it comes to us. So when we experience painful experiences, loss, abuse, betrayal, abandonment, neglect, engulfment, whether it's done to us, we do it to someone else, um, or we do it to ourselves, um, as we normally would process those things, cry, scream, yell, we're combusting those energies and we're transforming them in that moment. And time and space is passing in the theater, so we have an experience and then we're on to the next. And so when we do healing, it's kind of making sure that whatever process was blocked or we didn't process it, we didn't transform it at the time, all we're doing is creating an opportunity, creating the space and time presently to transform those energies. And so it's sometimes we just use the wrong language of, I'm going to let that go, or I'm going to release that, or I'm going to clear that. And really what we're doing is we're simply transforming energies and turning them into something that, instead of working against us and instead of getting in our way, could now become something that helps us, that we can use, that we can grow something with. And so this is the process throughout life of our wounds becoming our gifts, because as we process these painful experiences, we then become freer and more in our power to create new experiences than we ever were before, and to be helpful to others when they ask with what we've learned from this. So again, the whole point is nothing's ever lost. It's always transformed from something that was less useful to something that might be more useful. Part of this transformation process of converting our wounds into our gifts is something that Ken Wilber described as transcend and include. And so everything that you process, the energies that you go to transform, get included in who you are. They become a part of your energy, of who you are. So that's why it's never really lost. It gets transformed into something that fertilizes a new and more powerful version of yourself.